What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down a wide receiver post-route quiz. So we're going to be going over 3 different coverage situations. We're going to be talking about how you guys would run a post-route versus that specific coverage, okay, fellas? And also, if you guys have any kind of feedback and you want to see any kind of specific quiz video or any type of video in general, don't hesitate to leave those in the comments section below. I always appreciate the feedback, and it is always great to hear from you guys. So again, if you have any suggestions, any kind of feedback for the channel, we would love to help you guys out. Leave that in the comments section. Let's get started. So first things first here, first release. So if you guys are first route, I should say, if you guys aren't familiar with this type of video, I'm going to give you guys a situation. You're going to pause the video, think about what you would do, and then I'm going to break it down. So first route, we have to run a post route versus an outside shade DB and off man coverage. Okay, so think about why he's in off man coverage, why is he outside shade, and go from there. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video. Now I'm going to get into breaking this thing down, okay? So now, if he is outside shade like this, why is he outside shade? Chances are, again, this is one-on-ones, this is a clip where there's no really full defense out here, but he's outside shade simply because he has safety help to the inside, and you are from the slot, right? So as a slot wide receiver, if I'm playing man coverage, chances are I'm expecting an outside breaking route. I'm expecting you to run like a corner. If I'm the safety, right, I'm expecting you to run a corner, an out route, whatever. So that's why he's outside shade, but he has safety help to the inside, right? So if I have to run a post route, if you said that you want to attack the DB's leverage and then square him up and try to widen him and then break off on the post, you would be right. If you think that you should attack the inside shoulder of the DB and try to lean into him and break this thing off, you would be wrong, because that's exactly what that DB would kind of want you to do in this situation. He does not want you to get a free outside release, so that's where we have to threaten him. We have to threaten him to the open grass, so he will widen, and that could break me off. So this receiver does exactly that. So let's play at full speed. So he does a great job attacking him, hitting him with a rocker step, and then breaking this thing off and making a great catch over the middle. So let's talk about it, right? So if I got a DB who's outside shade, you square him up, like I said, he's going to keep his leverage. Now, why wouldn't you just run the simple post? Because if you just go off and run the post, he will get right into your hip and lean into you, and you got a safety right here. So that is a very tiny window for that quarterback to make a throw. Now think about it. Let's say the safety's over here, and let's say this is my throwing window. But if I attack the DB's leverage and widen him out like so, that just creates a bigger window for that quarterback to fit it in there before this safety to the left side or to the middle of the field is able to make a play. So that's why you'd want to attack his leverage. Any DB that's taught in off-man coverage, if he sees a receiver try to stem him to his leverage, he is going to weave and keep his leverage. If he just backpedals, he's playing this thing wrong. But you attack his leverage and he widens out, all you're doing is creating more space for yourself. So if you guys have to run that post route against outside shade, off-man coverage, you want to attack the leverage, then give a move at the top. Do not just run the route. Do not just take what he gives you because it's an inside breaking route. Zone coverage, different scenario. But off-man coverage, you have to square him up and you have to attack him. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job attacking his leverage, squaring him up with that 1-2, and then making that play over the middle. Okay, so now, fellas, second route we're going to be looking at is how you can run a post route versus an inside shade off man coverage DB. Now, before we get into this, I want to talk to you about a great opportunity, fellas, that we are offering this offseason. We are traveling out to 8 different cities across the United States for 2-day-long quarterback, wide receiver, and DB training camps. So our next stop, we just got back from Tampa, Florida. Our next stop is going to be in Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, then Newark, New Jersey. Then we're coming to Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois in May, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys want to travel out to any one of those cities, we would love to have you out, but spots are going to be limited. We're only limiting spots to about 10 to 12 guys per position group. So if you guys want to be one of those 10 to 12 spots, they're going to fill up quickly. Our Houston, Texas, and Phoenix camp are almost completely sold out, fellas. Check out that very first link in the description below if you want some more information on how you could get some work in with us this offseason. We're going to be doing positional work for 2 whole days, a lot of detailed work. That's why we're keeping the group small so we could actually coach you. We're going to be doing routes versus air, one-on-ones, half-line drills. So everything is going to help you guys get better, and we're actually going to coach you because we have the time to do so, and the groups are small. So check out that very first link in the description below, fellas, if you're interested in that. Let's get back to this video. So like I said, second clip, inside shade, off-man coverage guy, and you have to run a post route. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video, think about what you're going to do, and then we'll get into it. So go ahead and pause the video. And now we're going to break this thing down. So if he's inside shade, why is he inside shade, right? Now it's he does not have safety help. So he doesn't have safety help. You have to run a post route. So again, he's got all kinds of open grass to the outside. He's thinking that, okay, he's going to be running an inside breaking route, probably because his split is a little bit wide. Maybe he's on the numbers. Maybe he's on the bottom of the numbers. So he's going to play inside shade, or simply he does not have safety help no matter what the split is. So he's okay with you running to the sideline because the sideline is his help. So that's where we want to threaten him. Now, a lot of people, if you said that you want to attack the DB's leverage and square him up, that would be wrong, because if you attack him up, because we learned this from the first clip, if I attack his leverage and I square him up, what's he going to do? He's going to keep his leverage to the inside. He's going to weave, and then you're going to end up breaking the post right into him. Now, some of you might say, well, oh, if I just attack his leverage, I could just change the route and go run a corner. Can't do that in a real game unless it's a predetermined thing. Now, if you had to run like a 10-yard out, you would do that. You'd attack his leverage so he weaves, and then you got all this space out here. So what you want to do is you want to try to get his hips to flip. So it's play at full speed. So Dez Bryant does a great job of going right at his outside shoulder with the stem, gets that DB to flip his hips, and then he's able to make this play on this post route over the middle, right? So the goal is to get him to commit to the fade. It's man coverage, right? So every DB does not want to get beat deep in man coverage. He does not want to get beat deep on a fade or maybe like a corner, especially because we're in the red zone. So if we can go right at that outside shoulder, if I can commit my shoulders and my hips, my eyes could be there. I could be in full stride. Everything that Dez Bryant does, and I go right at his outside shoulder, that will force the hip turn. I could put the brakes on and slip back underneath. Now, a lot of guys do not have the leg strength, the knee stability, the ankle stability to make a cut like this going full speed. That is something that we have to work on as a wide receiver. I have to work on my ability to be able to put the brakes on like that. So you have to do those cutting drills. You have to work on that leg strength in the gym. All those things will help you cut at a high speed like this, right? So, but main thing is, if you attack the outside shoulder, that will get the DB to flip his hips, and I can slip back underneath when I have an inside breaking route against inside shade off man. Attack the outside shoulder, force the hip flip, then slip underneath. Or what you could do if maybe he's a little bit closer, you could do the exact same thing, get him to run with you, and you could throw him by at the shoulder or the back of the hip. But make sure that we attack the outside shoulder, fellas. The goal is to get him to flip his hips. Watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Dell, sudden fade, breaking on a dime, and then making some separation on that post route, okay? So now, last situation. So think about this. So we're going to have an inside shade press coverage DB. Diggs doesn't actually run a post route here, so we're not actually going to play the full clip, but we're just mainly going to focus on the pre-snap read. So pause the video, think about what you would do. How would you run a post in this situation where we have a DB who is inside shade in press coverage? Okay, so go ahead and pause the video. Now I'm going to break this thing down and talk about it. So if he's inside shade, right? We just talked about this from the last clip. Why is he inside shade in the first place? He's inside shade to force you to the sideline, right? He's inside shade because he does not want to give up the inside release. So you have an inside breaking route. So what a lot of receivers will do in this case is that they'll screw up. They'll try to force the inside release. They'll try to get to the inside as DB, maybe give him an outside move. All he is going to do if you do that is get right on your hip. If you even get the inside release, reroute you to the inside and force you towards everybody else and screw up the spacing of the play. If you force the inside release, as a wide receiver, I cannot force anything. I cannot force the release. I have to take what the DB gives me, right? So he's giving me the outside release. So I probably want to threaten him to the inside. I want to threaten him with an inside move, try to work him off the platform, just like how when you have to run like maybe like it's off man, and let's say he was 7-8 yards off and you had to run a 10-yard out, you'd want to attack his leverage, right? Because he'd keep his leverage, then you could take the outside route. So now because it's press, I want to threaten his leverage off the line, and then I want to work to the outside to restack. Because again, you're not going to get the inside release. Even if you do, he's going to get on your hip, reroute you. If you force it, he's probably just going to stay square and maybe not even let you get off a press, which screws up timing with the quarterback. So we have to take the release that he's giving me. So when I take the outside release, it's no different than when we have an inside shade off man. If he's running with me hip to hip, I could throw him by. Or what I really want to make sure that I'm doing is working to restack so I could throw like a move like a rocker step at the top or a heavy cut. But when you get this inside shade look, that's what you should be thinking. So if you were thinking, oh, I want to square him up and then take the inside release, or I want to give him an outside move and then take the inside release, no, we don't want to do that. We want to take what he gives me, trust yourself at the top of the route. You could run just about any route with an inside release or an outside release. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time, or actually, excuse me, I just want you guys to see how Diggs on this route, if he were to run a post route, he would get rerouted, right? So he uses a wide step release, but you see how he's kind of like, he got the DB to jump off the platform, but if he had to run a post and get back up vertical, that DB would be right on his hip, kind of trying to force him to the inside. Again, it's a great release by Diggs, and that sets up a lot of things, but that DB does not want to give up the inside shade, so we have to attack the inside and then work back to the outside. All right, fellas, I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope it kind of taught you a few things about how you guys can structure your routes, how you guys can make pre-snap reads as a wide receiver to apply to the actual route route that is given to you. And again, fellas, if you guys have any questions or any kind of video feedback, want to see a certain video, want to go over a certain concept, don't hesitate to leave that in the comment section below. We really appreciate the feedback. And again, fellas, if you guys would like to travel out to one of the 8 cities that we mentioned earlier in this clip, check out that very first link below. We're coming at you with some quarterback and wide receiver and DB training camps this offseason. So very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.